Ladies and gentlemen, it finally happened. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the Liberals have just gotten a national poll result that is worse than how Michael Ignatieff's Liberals performed in the 2011 federal election. Remember, the 2011 federal election was the one that Stephen Harper got his majority government in, and the Liberals came in third place behind Jack Layton's NDP, both in seat count and the popular vote. Ignatieff's Liberals only got 18% of the vote. And I'm about to show you a poll result from Main Street Research, a credible pollster, that is significantly worse than that 18% result. Even the top line numbers are worse than that 18% result. The Liberals only got 17% in this poll. But wait for it, that's if you take out the undecideds from the poll result, which actually makes it look a little bit better for the Liberals. In fact, the Liberals only got 14% in this national poll when you add in people who don't know where they're going to be placing their vote. And granted, sometimes undecideds just don't end up voting at all, so they actually do end up becoming irrelevant. But still, the fact that there are this many undecideds, equal amounts of undecideds to what the Liberals are getting in the poll, is embarrassing. I don't know what's keeping Justin Trudeau in as the Liberals leader and the Prime Minister. Or I guess I do know it's massive corruption and the fact that the Liberal Party basically operates like a dictatorship at this point, where to get rid of Justin Trudeau, you would like literally have to physically pick him up and like dump him on an island somewhere and like, not report where he was. And then the Liberals have to appoint a new leader because there's no mechanism to get rid of Justin Trudeau as the leader of the party. He chooses when to step down. Members can't vote to get rid of him. Caucus can't vote to get rid of him. It's a complete clown show. So I want to get a little bit deeper into these numbers because I do find it quite interesting. But before I get into that, I just want to remind you, if you are not yet a subscriber of this channel, make sure you go down and hit subscribe, like this video, and if you want to support us, donate to the Give, Send, Go. We have linked in the comments section below. It's pinned there. And you can also sign up on my website, wyattclaypool.com. So before anyone thinks like, well, undecideds are taken out, that throws off all the numbers. Okay, remember, the Conservatives had 47% here, Liberals 17. Let's not miss here that is a 30% lead for the Conservatives. That's wild. And while this is not Main Street's normal IVR type polling, although Polling Canada has it labeled as an IVR poll, this is their online panel. And Main Street, Kudo Maggie, has said they've had very good luck with it. It is decently accurate based on how they've pulled races with it in the past and what the results were. They just used this for the American election, and they were decently close to the state results. With this poll, though, you can't just say, well, it's thrown off because undecideds aren't added in. This is a great result for the Conservatives. A 42% result with undecideds added in demonstrates to me that it's not that people are parking their votes with the Conservatives because they don't know what to do with them. Yeah, they don't like Justin Trudeau, so I guess I'm going to vote Conservative. No, people are decisively voting Conservative. 42%, even if they got not a single extra vote from that 14% of undecideds, 42% is fantastic. There are 3% of people who also still said that they're voting for the PPC in this poll. The Liberals only have 14%. The NDP only have 14%. That means the PPC are getting 21% of what the Liberals currently have. Just insane. The ND, like the Greens have 5%. They are now within punching distance of the NDP and the Liberals polling numbers in terms of the seat counts. These seat counts would not put. I've seen people already go through what this would actually result in for the Liberals. I've seen it go down to like 21 seats, and only 2 of the seats wouldn't be in Quebec. It'd be like 1 seat in Ontario, like maybe Rosedale with Chrystia Freeland, and then there would be like, I don't even know what the seat is in the Maritimes at this point that they would actually be able to hold on to, but there is supposedly a Maritime seat in this mess that the Liberals could still hold on to. Let's go down a little bit farther. I don't like to go through their the Main Street numbers too much because you do have to pay for them, but I'll always show you a little snippet, which doesn't ruin the exclusivity of the Main Street numbers. These are extremely bad. Oh, sorry, let me plug my laptop here. I'm incompetent sometimes at running this show. This is broken down by age, gender and region in terms of the party support. This is the real death knell. And let's just say for argument's sake, this is a pure outlier. Within a year, the polls are never going to look like this again. But the fact that an outlier can look like this, like an outlier is usually a poll that doesn't really reflect reality. Maybe this one isn't reflective of reality. Maybe Main Street just got a really bad sample. Okay, but the fact that it wasn't an outlier that made it look closer where the liberals are close to conservatives. When outliers are only ever going in the direction of making it look worse for the liberals, that's probably because it's closer to reality than you would think. So here's with gender. This is a big deal for the liberals. Male gender gap is insane. Only 11.1% of men with undecideds added in would consider voting for the liberals. Only 8.3% of people within the age demographic range of 18 to 34. This has become a significantly older party for the Liberals. Their strength is mostly in 50 to 65 plus. A lot of retirees, a lot of people who, they vote Liberal because the Liberals generally maintain pension benefits, and it's been the party they voted for decades. That even happened in British Columbia with the NDP. The NDP way overperformed with older demographics compared to younger demographics. Because at some point, not any of you who watch my show who might be in that older age bracket, but when people just sort of watch legacy media news, they watch hockey, and that's kind of it, they tend to vote the way that they voted for the last 5 elections. And for the most part, there wasn't any other options but the BC Liberals and the BC NDP for so long that BC NDP is just my default. I vote for them. They keep my pension benefits generally stable, and you don't really have to live in full reality because you don't really go to work. You don't experience crime as much. You don't have to pay taxes. You pay taxes, but not on like a large income, just on pension benefits. This is insane. Alberta, my home province, good thing. 6.7% of people are planning on voting Liberal in Alberta. Is there one place worse? Yes, there is. Prairies. And this is, again, not some poll where they only polled like 5 people. There was like 1,100 people they polled. Maybe it's a panel error. I have to keep repeating that because maybe it's a panel error. But who could guess? Who could guess why people don't like the Liberals? It's almost like they have an entirely awful message. I'm a conservative. Obviously, I'm a conservative person. I even ran in a federal conservative nomination, and I'm not somebody who promotes the conservatives because, oh my goodness, I desperately hope that they would like me. I got kicked out of a federal nomination because some frankly corrupt advisor at the top of the federal party wanted their friend to win or an ally of theirs to win. I made sure that person still didn't win, even though they kicked me out and they engineered the race for them to win. So I'm not here to be a conservative party shill. I say whatever the heck I want. But from a conservative perspective, someone who is very conservative, I know that you could say take it with a grain of salt because you're not a liberal, but who is this appealing to? The liberals post more fake outrage from Pierre Poilievre, and it says November 21st, 2024. 400,000 kids are forced to eat at food banks, and then he voted against the National School Food Program to provide 400,000 more with kids healthy, or 400 more kids with healthy meals in schools every year. Guys, people don't think after 9 years of liberal failures that we just need 1 or 2 more programs and we're going to be rocketing towards utopia. We are well past that. The funny thing about the liberals is that Justin Trudeau should get a lifetime achievement award from the Fraser Institute or some other conservative organization because he has managed the economy, managed programs, the tax system so poorly that people, especially young people, are becoming very fiscally and socially conservative. He needs a Lifetime Achievement Award because only he, through terrible governance, could convince people that, maybe spending money on all this nonsense is a bad thing. Here is Brian Breguet. He ran the numbers through his model. He runs the website Too Close to Call. He was also one of the BC conservative candidates in the last election here in Vancouver Langar, great guy. He says, using this poll, I'd get the following projections. 260 seats for the Conservatives, 24 seats for the Liberals, 22 from Quebec, NDP 18, Green 1, and Bloc 40. This is insane. The Liberal Party of Canada would win 1 seat in Atlantic Canada and 1 in Ontario. And again, the only thing that is currently keeping Justin Trudeau in as the Prime Minister is the fact that his party cannot remove him. And I know right now Justin Trudeau is technically trying to make changes to his policy and back off some of his real radicalism. The problem is that the rot set in too long ago for us to just simply spray something on it and hope that it's going to go away. Yes, he reduced immigration numbers, not by nearly enough. I was advocating the other day we should be reducing, capping permanent residencies to 100,000 people. And then I would actually probably want 10,000 caps, like a 10,000 person cap on individual countries, that more than 100,000, 10,000 people can't come from that specific country per year. That's reasonable. Just bringing down new permanent residencies to 395,000 is not enough. We still also have temporary foreign workers and students on top of that. We should also just be slashing benefits to people who are not citizens. If you don't have the money to live here, you shouldn't show up and then think that you're going to get money. You shouldn't be able to, frankly, access a food bank multiple times a week if you showed up here and you're not a citizen. You don't, get to show up and then have everyone pay for you to live here. That's ridiculous. You have to. If I move to Luxembourg, I can't complain that it's expensive. I chose to move to Luxembourg, a country with a median income of like 87,000, or like I think it's like 70,000 euros. I can't sustain myself there. Anyways, and then he's now doing this GST holiday, this HST holiday, which he didn't inform the provinces of, which is causing like massive problems. You can't just suddenly be like, oh yeah, by the way, guys, you're not going to get any, sales tax revenue for the next few weeks here, for the next 2 months. And then he's copying Doug Ford, not on a good policy. There's not many Doug Ford policies I like, where instead of giving $200 to everyone in the province of Ontario, like Doug Ford is trying to do, Trudeau's going to give people $250 if you make less than $150,000 a year. And someone corrected me. You don't even get it if you're a senior, which is really stupid because seniors are one of the demographics the Liberals, as I was showing, disproportionately do well with. And so he's like kicking his own base in the teeth over this $250. Why would you even give it to people making $150,000? Give it to people making less than like 80,000. I'm not a big handout guy. Just reduce taxes. Just reduce the okay. I'm going to give advice to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau right now. I know, but don't give him advice. I don't want him to win. He's going to lose anyways, and it's good that maybe we all suffer a little bit less in the next year. Plus, he's not going to listen to me at all. Good idea is impenetrable to the head of Justin Trudeau. What they should be doing, reduce the overall GST by 1.5%. Reduce income taxes in all brackets by 1.5%. It's a small thing, and then just reduce, DEI spending, HR, and then get rid of like a bunch of stupid foreign aid spending. We currently, instead of providing economic opportunities there, we currently send money to West Africa to fund abortions. Not, money so that they can help grow their family and have jobs and all this stuff, only to kill your kids. This is where I always say with the Liberals, when it comes to life issues, they're not pro-choice, they're just goblins. I know I'm pro-life, I'm very pro-life, but like there is a difference between being like, well, I think there should be some choice here. And Canada has like this craziest laws on abortion. We are like North Korea. You can do whatever the heck you want. But like they literally will vote against laws to protect like pregnant women from being assaulted or killed. It's nuts. There's no upgraded sentencing for that. You could just assault a pregnant woman and it's just a basic assault, even if she miscarries your child because of it. It's nuts. But the Liberals just back up a little bit of the radicalism, a little bit of the wokeism. They might be able to do better. I know their own base is going to attack them, their progressive base, but it's worth it if you want the party to exist in the long run. And I know from people on this channel, you might think, well, why would you want the Liberals to exist? We should just want the Liberals gone. Because the Conservatives need a strong opposition. Even if I don't agree with what the Liberals are saying, I want a rational opposition who I don't always agree with what they say, but they can provide some accountability. The worst thing on the planet right now for the Conservatives is having no opposition. Because guess what? They can run on literally nothing and get in. I like Poilievre. I like a lot of the Conservative MPs. What we need, though, is for every party to become more pro-Canadian, to become more pro-free market, more pro-real values, wanting to slash immigration, and then we'll have a parliament that functions. We won't have the good party, the okay to good party. Under O'Toole, I would consider the Conservatives to have been a bad party. But I'd rather us have a really great party, and maybe another alternative really great party if the PPC was better at organizing itself and not just purity testing all the time. And then we had some okay parties that keep your party to account. Right now, we have a good party and we have horrible like nightmare fuel. Just like socialists, communists, social revolutionaries. I'm going to make a video at some point on this one organization now going after Trudeau. It's a migrant rights organization, migrant rights, as if like you just show up here and you're allowed to have like free everything, and that's your right as a migrant. They're attacking Trudeau because he reduced the amount of student visas, temporary foreign worker visas, I think refugee slots and whatnot, and then permanent residencies. They're mad because they don't actually care about the health of the country. They are radical activists who their only goal is more at all times. If you ever bump up against an organization and they have no clear goal, they just want more, those are radicals. And run away from those people screaming. Do not listen to them. They have no rationality left. So, with the Liberal Party right now and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, one, get rid of Justin Trudeau. I know they can't. Then two, after you do that, just be a little bit more like just copy and paste what Paul Martin did. Just copy and paste what John Chrétien did. And I think even though I don't think they were perfect prime ministers or even good in some areas, they were bad in some areas, they were acceptable. They were Canadian prime ministers because I don't consider Justin Trudeau a Canadian prime minister. He is I don't like the word globalist. I just consider him a leftist. You could insert him in any country and the policies would be the same because he doesn't actually care about Canada. Nothing he does is tailored to Canada. He is anti-energy in a very energy-heavy country. He is anti-manufacturing in a country that could do a lot of manufacturing. He is just anti-private property rights, anti-free speech in a Western democracy because he has a leftist mentality, not a Canadian Western mentality. Ugh. Anyways, that should be it for me today, guys. Again, if you want to support the show, donate to the Give Send Go. It's linked in the description below and pinned at the top of the comments. And I just want to do a quick plug for my website, WyattClaypool.com. If you want my recommendations for local nominations or leadership races, that's both federal and provincial, go sign up there. I have around 185 people on the list right now. I'm hoping to get that into the thousands at some point. So if there's ever a nomination going on in any given riding, and we want to make sure it's a real conservative being nominated to these parties, a real conservative becoming the leader of a party, we can actually get behind that person. I can inform you about some nitty gritty stuff because I can't really like make a video on some of these local races. It would be too niche. Not enough people would know about it. When I was running in Signal Hill, you can see the little card I have back there when I was running. I would have to plug it in every single video. And maybe every video, like 12 people would actually live in my riding, but like the chance people even realize I'm talking about the riding they live in is pretty slim. And so if I want to help out other people and we want to get real conservatives in, I just have to sign up right away. Maybe there's not even going to be a nomination in your riding in like 6 years. Just be on there in case. So even if there is like some new thing pops up in your area or there's a federal leadership race, I can evaluate people, tell you what I think about each one of them, and then you can decide whether or not you like them or not. And you can even send me emails on my website about who you like in certain ridings to inform me or better inform me about what's going on so that everyone can make a more informed choice. And again, we can basically rank people because it's always ranked votes in terms of most conservative to least conservative, with the addition of most professional, most effective, most honest, all that stuff also added in. Anyways, so that's it for me today, guys. See you around. Thanks for watching the channel.